Come on in, pull up a chair, and take a load off, because today I'll be taking a first look and paging through the Pathfinder Lost Omens travel guide from Paizo Inc. And we'll get a move on right after this. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. As I mentioned in the open, today I will be taking a first look and paging through the Pathfinder Lost Omens travel guide from Paizo Inc. It's written by Rigby Bendelli, Katina Davis, Dana Ebert, Dustin Knight, Aaron Lascano, Ron Lundeen, Stephanie Lundeen, Anara Natividad, Dave Nelson, Jessica Redicop, Nathan Renicky, Mikhail Rikun, Aaron Roberts, Simone Saleh, and Diego Valdez. And I apologize, I guarantee I have mispronounced some of those names. This 128-page hardcover is available now. It carries an MSRP of $39.99. Or you can grab just the PDF alone for $27.99. So that said, let's swing on over to the other camera, because here I've got the travel guide. A few things I want to point out before we dive on in. First of all, the fine folks over at Paizo Inc. were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. And these days, it's important that you know that. Also, I'll be picture-in-picture up here, as always. So that means I'll be cutting off a little bit of the upper left portion of the book as we take a peek. We're not going to look at each and every page, but I do want to give you a good feel for what you're going to find in the travel guide. And I sort of get the impression that this book is kind of what we like to call a fluff book. And I'll talk about that in just a little bit. I have not cracked this open yet. I'm actually looking forward to checking this out. So let's take a look at the back. Your journey begins. Don't let the best of Golarion pass you by. This handy book presents the highlights of the Inner Sea region to help any and all curious travelers plan where to go and what to see. Gain local insights related to the most extravagant festivals, the greatest hits of a storied theater scene, and the delicacies of fine restaurants. Discover notable athletes featured in upcoming sports competitions or the latest trends in fashion, essential for dazzling onlookers at balls. Explore the vast, rich variety the Inner Sea has to offer. All right, so let's jump on in. I'm also going to give some credit to our artists as well. So we do have quite a few illustrators here. So when I was talking about this being a fluff book, and some people think that term is a bad term. I don't use it in a derogatory way. So essentially, when I say something is fluff, and this is pretty much how it's looked at in the role-playing game industry, a book that has fluff is something that has a lot of background detail, a lot of artwork, but not necessarily tons and tons of stat blocks or new magic items or spells. It's not necessarily gameable material in a book that has fluff or is devoted essentially to fluff. But what you do find is that it really brings a lot of that background of the setting alive, or a background of an adventure, or say a region. So let's take a look, see what we've got here. So it says, welcome to our latest guidebook, Golarion's finest guide to the Inner Sea. What's in this book? Our aim is to immerse you in every particular of life in our region. We get right down to the basics so that you don't have to ask any awkward questions or run afoul of local laws as you journey. So it looks like this is being presented to the player in character, essentially. Let's see what we've got. So we're going to have different sections. You're going to see right along the right side, which I always like how we see this in the second edition Pathfinder books. I find it very useful when you're kind of jumping around. So it looks like we've got time in the calendar, everyday life, festivals and holidays, trade, cuisine, fashion, art and architecture, pastimes, crime and law, what people know, magic, folklore and mythology, religion, nature and animals, weather and climate, rare events, and then the stars, and it wraps up with a glossary and an index. So if you wanted to know more about the Inner Sea region, this is going to open up a lot of material for you, a lot more background, give you a lot more details on things. And as a player or a game master, this can be very, very useful. So we've got, talking about calendar, curiosities. We've got the Perseverance clock. Looks like a sundial. Drip clocks, the Absalom time exchange. So interior design. So this is everyday life. See, now this is cool. This is very cool. And this is what I mean by fluff. Are there like stats and things like that? No. Are there encounters broken up in here? No. But gives you a nice feel for what are the homes like in the Inner Sea region. So we have rural homes, urban homes. So we get a bit of information about rural life. I'm assuming we'll also have urban life. Oh, there we go. So I turn the page. Urban life, urban travel, urban housing. Then we get into festivals and holidays. So we get a breakdown of the various different important festival days and holidays, when they take place. Also talking about important life events. And Allbirth, of all the holidays I've experienced, Allbirth has been the most thrilling. Is that your birthday? I don't know. It began as an occult celebration of monsters. That's pretty wild. Performed by the followers of Lamashtu, the Demon Queen. At some point, a group of half-orc and goblin youth in Katapesh began to celebrate the holiday half in jest and half seriously, and it became a secretive masquerade party. That trend has gained popularity, and what was once a day of blood-curdling ritualistic sacrifice has become a day of temptation and celebration for those of us who see Lamashtu as our ancestor. That's kind of interesting. Looks like this looks more like the sacrifices. There's blood all over the place. So it kind of gives you a breakdown of that festival with some artwork. That's kind of cool. I like that. So then we get into trade. So showing us what a copper piece looks like, silver piece, gold piece, and a platinum piece. Trade goods. Nice. Monster parts, mechanical components, brick, marble, leather, wine, ale. So quite a few different trade goods, and of course an explanation of each with some pricing as well. That's kind of cool. Oh, here we go. We're getting into food. So this is a noble's feast. A meal fit for nobility, or for any, in this modest author's opinion, would be laughable if it included fewer than 4 courses In my lifetime, I have dined both alongside and upon esteemed. They've dined upon esteemed nobles and artisans. I stopped for a second. I was like, did I just read that correctly? I'm like, yes, I did. Each taste was unique, and I relished the memory of each experience. Among these, however, I do recall with fondness and vivid clarity the best meal I've ever eaten. Herein I describe it that you might experience it secondhand. So there we go. Molded egg custard pies. So now we're going to get into fashion. So Queen Chic. We have Winter Warmth, Green Envy. Back to School. Jeez. Timeless Classics. Tough Trends. Now we have accessories as well. This is a pretty interesting book. Okay, so now we're getting into art and architecture. So we've got artists, famous pieces of artwork, although that looks like that's a book. Famous structures. And some of these have appeared in adventures previously. Then we get into pastimes. So you have a hobby showcase, playing Boulder, which is played with 3 6-sided dice and 2 20-sided dice. Oh, yes, because it's so easy for them to manufacture 20-sided dice. We have log rolling, feather pressing, Imperial Conquest. It's a strategy board game. Knivesies. Lots of people don't have the joy of writing for this fine publication and kicking back with a nightly card game to earn the day's bread and beer. No, lots of people have to work. Some of them have to work really hard, probably. I don't know. It's kind of funny. So we have Basilisk. So it's a professional sports game. Here we go. This popular team sport has 2 sides, each trying to place a scoring ball into a round goal on the opposite side of a field. There's a second ball in play called Basilisk, which the players hurl at each other with wicker scoops. Players who touch or are hit by the Basilisk ball must freeze in place. Though they can't be frozen, any player holding the scoring ball must drop an opaque visor, making it difficult to see while the ball is held. Okay. So there we have a Basilisk player. There's our blinding helmet. We have Riddleport rollers. Is that like a roller derby? Possibly. So now we have crime and law. So we have some wanted criminals here. What people know. So we have known history, common knowledge. We have regions at a glance. So what people know about the various different regions as well. So we're getting into magic, spellcasting signatures, specific runes, summoning signature. Folklore and mythology. So we've got creation myths, fables, fairy tales. Superstitions. Morning flowers. Woodland elves won't talk to other humanoids in the morning until they've greeted all the flora and fauna around them, asking for their goodwill, which can take rather a long time when in their forest or jungle homes. Wrong turns. It is said if you turn down a wrong street in Riddleport, you must retrace your steps walking backward. If you do not, you will get lost again. This is why you see people walking backward in that city. All right, we should be moving into religion. There we go. Few aspects of daily life unite and divide the peoples and cultures of the inner sea as profoundly as religion, as it does in other worlds, not fantasy worlds either. Such a fascinating topic with myriad expressions and possibilities. What a shame, then, that it can be so dangerous to discuss. So we've got different events, rituals, pantheons, nature and animals, the natural world, pollution, waste. Managing the byproducts of settlements is vital for the long-term health of populations. Sewage, garbage, and other forms of waste spread disease. Really? They know about this? That's good. When improperly overseen. So it looks as if various churches, it says, in handling pollution, the churches of Abadar and Gazra work in alignment. Kind of interesting. So we've got some flora, we've got some fauna. The vulture rat. These scavenger rats live in Geb, where they feast on the remains of the undead. They've adapted to going long periods without sustenance, but viciously attack any possible food source. Use statistics for a giant rat whose jaws strike has the deadly D8 trait. We have pet shops. I will say the artwork throughout is kind of a mix. It's not very uniform. I mean, I haven't seen anything awful, but it is a variety of different styles. Some more naturalistic, some more realistic, and some very cartoonish. So we got weather and climates, earthquakes, flooding, thunderstorms, tsunamis, volcanoes, wildfires. It's a bit of info about those. Hey, so we're actually getting some stats for things. We're getting some stat blocks. They're for rare events like Blood Rains and Glacial Whirl, Sun Orchid Harvest. Then we get into the stars, the sun and the moon and the stars. I think this is going to wrap things up. So we got phases of the moon. And our glossary and index. And we've probably got an ad. Well, there's our open game license right there. Oh, there we go. Guns and gears. All right. So that should give you a good idea what you're going to find inside the Pathfinder Lost Omens travel guide. Pretty interesting. Like I said before, I had the impression that this was going to be a book that had a lot more background detail, not necessarily gameable material. And it looks like I was right. But that's not to say that this does not look very interesting. So keep that in mind. Of course, we're going to have a review of the travel guide in the very near future. All right. So that is it for this time out. Don't forget, the Pathfinder Lost Omens travel guide is available right now. Actually came out a couple of days ago. It is available in hardcover for $39.99, or you can grab just the PDF for $27.99. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already, and if you do subscribe, ding that bell. Will not only let you know when I upload videos such as this first look, it'll also let you know when My live stream, The Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for loads of tabletop gaming news, reviews, and more that you will not find here on the YouTube channel. All right, thank you very much for joining me for this first look. And until I see you next time, here's hoping each and every one of you gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang. Oh, hey, you're still here. That's okay. You don't have to leave just yet. In fact, why don't you subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel right here, or take a peek at the latest live stream, or even find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks again for watching.